That's what we're all thinking.
I'm not thinking that.
Welcome to WatchMojo, and today we're counting down our picks for the top 10 times The Simpsons said what we were all thinking.
Uh-oh. Did I say that or just think it?
For this list, we'll be looking at the most relatable, honest, and spot-on moments from this animated sitcom that had us saying, "So true." How often does The Simpsons say what you're thinking? Let us know in the comments. Number 10. Loneliness and cheeseburgers. We're not sure how many doctor's offices have lines specifically for patients in wheelbarrows, but we can all identify with this moment nonetheless.
Excuse me, little lady. Wheelbarrow line is over there.
Arriving at Dr. Nick's clinic, Lisa notices a fast food employee wheeling an immobile comic book guy. His diagnosis? A severe case of loneliness that he tried combating with a lot of cheeseburgers.
Oh, loneliness and cheeseburgers are a dangerous mix.
During depressing periods, it's not uncommon to turn to food for comfort. In the moment, we tell ourselves that food will make everything better. In some cases, it does help, until we fork down more than we can chew. Whenever we stuff ourselves to the point of feeling ill, comic book guy's words of woe always come to mind, especially if cheeseburgers were on the menu.
Yes, this should provide adequate sustenance for the Doctor Who marathon.
Number 9. Where's the remote? Wanting to change the channel, Grandpa Simpson searches for the elusive remote.
This show stinks. I knew my son would blow it.
Although the clicker is only a few feet away from his chair, Grandpa compares the journey to retrieve it to visiting China. The remote is, ironically, too remote for him. You could chalk this up to an old person joke, but let's be honest.
Where's the remote? Oh, it might as well be in China.
Even if you're a vigorous 20-something, you're not getting up once you've sat down. We've all been in Grandpa's slippers, thinking his exact thoughts when the remote is more than a simple reach away. We'd rather continue watching what's ever on the tube or let the algorithm select our next program than step beyond our comfort zone. If we have to stand, we might as well go to China.
Hello? China? Little help?
Number 8. Marshmallows in cereal. No cereal brings out one's inner child quite like Lucky Charms. We mean marshmallows consume a good portion of the box. It's like having dessert for breakfast and getting away with it. If you have an especially sweet tooth, though, you probably think of Bart whenever you pour yourself a bowl.
Oh, damn FDA. Why can't it all be marshmallow?
For those looking to eat at least semi-healthy, the cereal's oat pieces might make you feel a little better. For those who just want the sweetest taste possible, you'll reiterate Bart's complaint that all the pieces aren't marshmallows.
Ew, Bart, don't put the non-marshmallow pieces back in the box. They go in the trash.
Some of you also might agree with Lisa that the non-marshmallow pieces belong in the trash rather than back in the box. If we wanted a box of Cheerios, we would have bought a box of Cheerios.
Ooh, you like sweets, kids? I know a place that's sweeter than sweetness itself.
Number 7. Online friends greater than in-person friends. On one hand, the friendships we form in person are usually more meaningful than the ones that are almost exclusive to the internet.
Uh-oh, a draggy backpack.
I have no friends.
Aw, sweetie. Hey, why don't you make friends with my new computer?
Okay.
That said, online friendships are easier to develop and maintain. Lisa discovers this as she gets the idea to start her own social network. Not having any friends in the real world, Lisa becomes instantly popular online upon typing a few generic statements that probably wouldn't get much of a response in person. Even if you're a social butterfly, you'll still connect with Lisa's epiphany that making a bunch of friends on the web is more convenient than interacting with somebody firsthand.
It's easier to be friends with lots of people online than one person in person. What if I started an online meeting place where all are equal and I am the undisputed center?
Plus, when someone isn't acting very friendly, you can just click that unfriend button instead of enduring a messy confrontation. Number 6. No longer with it. Here's a moment that resonates on two levels. In a flashback, Abe Simpson gives his son and Barney a harsh reality check. During their youth, everyone thinks that they're with it.
I used to be with it, but then they changed what it was. Now what I'm with isn't it, and what's it seems weird and scary to me. It'll happen to you.
However, what you consider cool will one day be considered dated and replaced with something you don't understand. If you're a naive whippersnapper, you'll likely identify with Homer, who's more confident that he'll always be with it.
No way, man. We're gonna keep on rocking forever. 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 Forever.
If you're in your 30s or beyond, though, you'll relate more to Abe. It isn't until you see what the kids are into nowadays that you truly start to feel old. Have we become out of touch?
No, it's the children who are wrong.
Number 5. Bender is Robot Homer. Although both have Matt Groening in common, The Simpsons and Futurama stand out with different settings, themes, and tones. Yet there are a few areas where they intersect, namely the character designs. Bender in particular looks an awful lot like a robot Homer.
Oh, I see. A bunch of stuff gets bent, so it must be the robot designed for bending.
Just replace Homer's 2 hairs with an antenna, and you essentially have Bender. Fans have been thinking this since 1999. 15 years later, when the Planet Express came to Springfield, the writers finally acknowledged what was on everyone's minds.
You know, they look a little similar.
Noticing the resemblance, Bart takes a sketch of his father, makes a few tweaks to the head, eyes, and teeth, and boom! Bender. Maybe Groening got lazy, as Lisa suggests, but who knows?
Yeah, like the guy who designed Bender just took a drawing of Dad and stuck an antenna on it.
A little lazy, if you ask me.
Perhaps Mom's Friendly Robot Company based Bender's design on Homer. And throughout Springfield, citizens gather outside Dr. Hibbert's office demanding a cure. Despite Hibbert's rational response, mass hysteria and bee attacks break out nonetheless. Although the Osaka flu is fictional, this moment can be applied to virtually any real-world public health crisis, from SARS to Ebola to the various influenza strains. However, this scene became especially prevalent when the COVID-19 pandemic hit, and the world desperately needed vaccines.
I'm cured! I mean, ouch!
Many would express themselves through this Simpsons meme, with the ensuing town panic and unleashing of killer insects only adding to the relevance. With COVID ongoing and monkeypox on the rise, it's safe to assume that we'll be thinking about cures for the foreseeable future.
People of Springfield, because of the epidemic, I have canceled my vacation to the Bahamas. I shall not leave the city. Hey, you! Get that steel drum out of the mayor's office.
Number 3. Lisa on the police. Another moment that hasn't lost relevance, this 1995 episode saw Marge become a cop.
I'm interested in becoming a police officer.
While Lisa knows that her mother has nothing but the best intentions, she wisely articulates the fundamental flaws at the center of law enforcement and incarceration. Shouldn't we be striving towards rehabilitating criminals and addressing the social issues that lead to crime, rather than just cramming people into cells?
But aren't the police a protective force that maintains the status quo for the wealthy elites? Don't you think we ought to attack the roots of social problems instead of jamming people into overcrowded prisons?
Lisa makes a strong argument, saying it better than most of us could. Of course, Marge responds how most people in positions of power would when presented with such an important question, dodging the matter entirely and talking down to their audience.
Look, Lisa, it's McGriff, the crime dog. Hello, Lisa. Help me fight crime.
The issue that Lisa brings up may never be resolved, but they'll remain on our minds for now. Number 2. Moe doesn't want to pay bills. We've all been there before. You miss a payment, and before you know it, your floor gets repossessed.
You gotta give me back my floor. My customers are walking around on the pipes.
Okay, maybe that exact situation is specific to Moe, but it's not uncommon to fall behind on payments. The repo guy tells the bar owner that he should have paid his bills. Moe responds with an ironclad argument we can all get behind. He doesn't wanna!
Hey, next time pay your bills.
But I don't want to.
Moe doesn't say anything about not being able to afford it. Apparently, it's simply the sheer lack of personal desire that impedes his cooperation. Unfortunately, Moe isn't a kid refusing to clean his room. If you don't pay what's owed, there are going to be consequences.
Because you sound like a mature, responsible person who wouldn't want an unpaid credit card bill to spoil all his hopes and dreams for the future. Dreams such as home ownership, boat ownership, and event attendance. Now, when can I tell my supervisor, Mr. Robinson, to expect payment?
Still, whenever we get a bill or tax forms in the mail, Moe's words hit home. Before we unveil our top pick, here are a few honorable mentions. Pixar wins every award. Angry Dad, the movie. Although, to be fair, they usually deserve it.
You got an enemy.
Casper or the late Richie Rich. 3 Men and a Comic Book. If you didn't see it before, you'll see it now.
I think Casper's the ghost of Richie Rich.
Hey, they do look alike.
I wonder how Richie died.
Perhaps he realized how hollow the pursuit of money is and took his own life.
Kids, could you lighten up a little?
Why do pirates bury treasure? Natural-born kissers. Do pirates even need treasure for that matter? Can't they just raid and pillage everything?
Captain, I know we usually bury the treasure, but what if this time we use it to buy things? You know, things we like.
Updating theme park rides. The man who came to be dinner. The complaints of the few outweigh everyone else.
They revamped this ride because of massive complaints from 2 people.
No means no. We know.
Simpson DNA evidence. The Simpsons 138th episode spectacular. Summing up our thoughts on the O.J. Simpson trial without directly mentioning the juice.
But of course, for that ending to work, you would have to ignore all the Simpson DNA evidence. And that would be downright nutty.
Before we continue, be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. You have the option to be notified for occasional videos or all of them. If you're on your phone, make sure you go into your settings and switch on notifications. Number 1. Learning new things. The more you broaden your education, the smarter you become, right? Yes and no. True. You might pick up a few new skills and nuggets of knowledge.
Is any of this going to be on the test? Because I wasn't paying attention.
If you're anything like us, though, you'll forget something else in the process. Some people may have a warehouse worth of room in their expanding minds, but most of us habitually forget old tricks as we start picking up new ones.
And how is education supposed to make me feel smarter?
Homer expresses what we're talking about during this moment, when Marge suggests that he take an adult education course. Rolling his eyes at the idea, Homer argues that there's limited space in his brain.
Every time I learn something new, it pushes some old stuff out of my brain. Remember when I took that home winemaking course and I forgot how to drive?
That's because you were drunk.
That may be a testament to why Homer isn't very bright, but this also might be one of the smarter arguments he's ever made. Did you enjoy this video? Check out these other clips from WatchMojo, and be sure to subscribe and ring the bell to be notified about our latest videos.